If you're wondering why we're filming this at 2 p.m, this is only the first part. This is going to be a busy day, so we'd just like to verify this bit and get it filmed now. Well, let's begin. Welcome to Transfer Talk. Ollie Tanner will not be leaving Lewes, with a non-league club saying the forward has failed to agree personal terms with the Premier League club. Tottenham. Crystal Palace have failed with a renewed Eddie Nketiah bid. Are Everton interested in Loftus-Cheek? Maybe. Lampard's appointment edges closer. And Spurs are set for a busy 48 hours, according to Fabrizio Romano. They want a solution for Ndombele and Ali, and also close to complete the loan deal for Brian Gill to Valencia. And negotiations are progressing for Kulusevski. It's also a done deal that Odion Igalo was signed for reigning Asian champions Al Hilal. Is Kulusevski set to move for Spurs? Maybe. The loan fees are around €5 million, and they've agreed a deal. Which, yeah, they have. Spurs are also confident to complete the Rodrigo Bentancur deal for only €19 million, plus add-ons. West Ham will make an offer of £50 million for Calvin Phillips, which has been rejected. They've also had a bid turned down for Rafinha. They want the Leeds pair as he bids to keep West Ham's push to qualify for the Champions League on track. Spurs were in advanced talks for both Kulusevski and Bentancur, reports go in Italy. And Diaz has completed his first part of the Liverpool medical. Agreement has been reached between the clubs for a £40 million guaranteed fee up front plus $20 million add-ons. Here we go. There's a confirmation. While Weghorst will undergo a medical on Sunday ahead of a £12 million move to Weghorst. He was an absolute star for Wolfsburg last season, and he's moving to Burnley. Oh, God almighty, what's wrong with bloody... What the hell's going on with Wolfsburg if he's going to move to bloody Burnley? Oh, they're only 15th, fair enough then. The Clarets have reportedly targeted the Wolfsburg striker after losing Chris Wood to Newcastle. He has 7 goals in 24 games for Wolfsburg this season. Liverpool expect to complete the signing of Luis Diaz today. Cantona's arrival was iconic, according to Gary Neville. Leeds United have no interest in selling, and the players don't want to leave. And John McLaughlin signed a new contract with the club until the summer of 24. Tottenham and Juventus have agreed a loan deal for Dejan Kulusevski with an option to make the deal permanent included. Kulusevski will travel to London on Sunday ahead of a medical. Bournemouth have expressed an interest in taking Nico Williams on loan, and Liverpool are weighing up the interest. He's pushing for the chance of regular first-team football as he wants to play for Wales in the World Cup qualifiers in March. Here's today's top stories. Arsenal rejecting another Crystal Palace bid for Eddie Nketiah. Everton and Crystal Palace are in negotiations with Man United's star midfielder. Bruno Guimares completed Newcastle medical ahead of a £40 million transfer from Lyon. And Luis Diaz undergoes his medical ahead of a £45 million move to Liverpool with the deal expected to be completed before the deadline. And Everton formally offer former Chelsea and Derby boss Frank Lampard the role as their new manager, continuing the streak of their last 3 managers formerly managing Chelsea, with Rafa Benitez and Carlo Ancelotti, also former Chelsea managers. Not including Duncan Ferguson, because he doesn't really count. Bournemouth are in talks to sign Todd Cantwell on loan from Norwich, according to the Telegraph's Midlands football correspondent John Percy. River Plate have confirmed that Julian Alvarez has agreed to join City. They'd paid the 21-year-old forward's release clause, but added that he wouldn't move to England until July at the earliest after signing a loan deal with the Argentines. Olympiacos are also among the clubs interested in Todd Cantwell. Newcastle have agreed a fee of £13 million for Brighton for Dan Burn, and it's a done deal that Luis Diaz has signed for Liverpool from Porto on a deal to the summer of 2027 for £37 million plus up to £12 million of potential add-ons. He will wear the number 23, what Jamie Carragher used to wear. Diaz requires a work permit to enter the UK and therefore will unlikely arrive in Liverpool until the end of next week at the earliest. Who would want to watch tennis for 5 hours? Well, Rafael Nadal's won. That's what happens when you leave a serve at home. He would have bloody won anyway, to be fair. Given that, he's better. Okay. Can't stand Novak Djokovic anyway. Luis Diaz will wear the number 23 shirt at Liverpool, which wasn't just worn by Carragher. Robbie Fowler has also worn it. And then some of the best Liverpool players of all time, such as Emre Can and Xherdan Shaqiri. I'm only messing. Here's a message from the new Red.
I'm very happy to say to Liverpool.
Okay. Diaz was the player we really wanted, according to Jurgen Klopp. It's all happening on Merseyside this Sunday as Everton are close to signing Donny van de Beek on loan after agreed to deal with Manchester United. It's a straight loan with no option to buy, and Everton will pay his full wages. Crystal Palace and Valencia are also in talks this month, and Everton tried to sign the player in the summer. And it's a done deal that Ryan Hedges is joining Blackburn from Aberdeen for an undisclosed fee. Diaz will fit in perfectly at Liverpool, and they're rebuilding their attack, apparently. The Liverpool fans can get excited because he's got everything, according to Mark McAdam. Granada are also in talks with Norwich over a loan for Todd Cantwell. Can Traore have a Barcelona impact? I mean, seeing that picture before, he doesn't look ugly anymore because I'm used to it. Eddie Nketiah will see out his Arsenal contract, which expires in the summer. Yeah. Tottenham have agreed a £20 million deal with Juventus to sign Rodrigo Bentancur. That came out of nowhere. Tottenham bound Kulusevski had a cool finish for Sweden in the Nations League against Croatia. Wow. Bournemouth have agreed to deal with Peterborough for winger Siriki Dembele. Derby fee could be the biggest ever paid for a championship club. If they can buy a suitable buyer, yeah. The actual sale price could be just £1 with a guarantee to remove the outstanding debt. They're optimistic that there may be progress in Derby's outstanding legal battles with Middlesbrough and Wycombe in the next week, with an independent arbitration and a civil court case still possible. More than 2,000 supporters marched from Derby's assembly rooms to Pride Park ahead of today's championship games with Birmingham as a sign of solidarity and a determination to save Derby County. And Lyle Taylor scored at his Birmingham City debut after joining from Tottenham. And it still remains 1-0. Number 23. Luis Diaz must be very good, said Jamie Carragher. They're also interested in signing attacker midfielder Fabio Carvalho from Fulham, who has 6 months left on his current contract. If this was Scotland, he could sign a pre-contract. And if Fulham was in Spain, he might not be able to sign a pre-contract actually due to his age. I'm not sure what it's like in Scotland. I don't know. All I know is that Liverpool are interested. Will they wait till the summer then? Probably. See you in part 2. Now that something major has happened, we've decided to re-record for a little bit. Josh Madger's having a medical at Stoke ahead of a loan move from Bordeaux. But now, we need to refresh the page, hooray! Lampard is expected to sign his contract to become the new Everton manager today. And Barcelona are in advanced talks with Arsenal over the loan signing of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Deal's not done, but there's increased confidence it can be struck before the deadline. Be a straight loan, and discussions are ongoing over the percentage of wages Barcelona will pay. Juventus wanted to sign him too, but their move is dependent on Atletico Madrid agreeing to cut Alvaro Morata's loan spell short. As it stands, Morata stays at Juventus. Here are the news stories currently. Dan Burn, there's been a fee agreed between Newcastle and Brighton for the defender. Bruno Guimares has completed his Newcastle medical, and Donny van der Beek is close to signing for Everton despite Crystal Palace interest. Kulusevski and Bentancur deals have been agreed by Tottenham and Juve. And Liverpool, biggest story by far, has signed Luis Diaz for an initial fee of £37 million. Continuing on. The Reds are a number of clubs interested in Carvalho. One source told Sky Sports News that Liverpool have already submitted a £5 million bid, although this hasn't been confirmed by either club. Fulham are confident Carvalho will be their player until the end of the season. The 19-year-old has 6 months left on his current contract. Why am I wrong for Van der Beek at Man United? They just don't let him play. There's nothing wrong with the player. He's just never allowed to play. Everything's going very well ahead of Frank Lampard's arrival at Everton, and an announcement is expected in the current hours of him becoming the manager. And it's a done deal that Jordan Hugill has signed for Cardiff on loan from Norwich until the end of the season. He also started for Cardiff in their championship game against Forest. Yeah. Let's see, it might be still stoppage time, but... Well, he scored on his debut, so there you go. The ball is now in Fulham's court whether to accept or reject their offer, according to Richard Morgan. And it's officially a done deal that Bruno Guimares has signed for Newcastle on a 4.5-year deal for about 35 to £40 million. It becomes Eddie Howe's first signing following Kieran Trippier and Chris Wood to St James's Park. Bruno was one of Eddie Howe's primary targets, according to Eddie Howe. And yep, there he is, signing on the dotted line. Don't know why he went to Newcastle when he could have been at Lyon, but, you know, money. That's why. He can offer a lot more money, because they're rich. Juventus hope to replace Tottenham pair Dejan Kulusevski and Rodrigo Bentancur with Dennis Zakaria and Nahid Hernandez. They'll pay around about £2.9 million for Zakaria. An agreement has been reached between those clubs, and a further 2.9 available to Bundesliga club and bonuses. They're also continuing to negotiate with Caligari over Dio Fernandez, who was also been a target from Roma. Alvarez could remain on loan at River Plate from City for the rest of the year. Lyon are in advanced talks with Tottenham over the loan signing of Tanguy Ndombele. Discussions are over a straight loan, but Lyon are pushing for an option to buy. Tottenham bought Ndombele from Lyon for a club record £63 million. Lyon are looking for a replacement for Bruno Guimares, who completed his move to Newcastle today. PSG, Everton and Valencia have also tried to sign Ndombele in this window. And yep, Jordan Hugill netted on his Cardiff debut in a 2-1 win against Forest. A rare win for Cardiff, to be fair. Rodrigo Bentancur will do with Tottenham medical remotely from Uruguay. However, Dejan Kulusevski is flying to the UK to do a medical at Hospital Way this evening. Diaz has got everything, and Liverpool fans can get excited, according to whoever said that. Christian Eriksen set this on for Brentford. He's completed all the necessary medical checks and is fit to return to football. He's fully agreed terms on a 6-month deal. And it's a done deal that Finley Burns has joined Swansea on loan from City for the rest of the season. Juventus will pay an initial £4.2 million for Zakaria and a further £2.5 million in add-ons. Not what we originally said. Zakaria has already agreed a contract with the German club running until the summer of 26, so there you go. Has Aubameyang played his final game for Arsenal? As for the wages situation, Arsenal will be looking for the majority of that payment to be made by Barcelona. Could Liverpool sign and loan back Carvalho? Well, he could sign for Liverpool for that £5 million and then just get loaned back to Fulham for the rest of the season, potentially. Going to Derbyshire. Divock Origi, Takumi Minamino and Nat Phillips could go from Liverpool. Leeds and Monaco are interested in Minamino. Liverpool win the transfer tug-of-war over Diaz between them and Spurs. Spurs can't win anything, not even the signature of a Porto player. Dan Burn is set to return to Newcastle. He is a Newcastle fan and was in their academy until the age of 11. And yeah, they've agreed a £13 million deal. Remember Darwin Núñez from the Master Box Wrexham AFC career? Oh yeah, he plays for Benfica and West Ham are interested. Scored 20 in 25 games this season. I don't like what he's kind of done on FIFA with the Wrexham AFC career mode made by great Australian FIFA YouTuber the Master Box. Shut up about that career mode. Yeah, but what about Willem Shut up! Shut up! Oh yeah, by the way, you know that Carlisle career mode that got cancelled? We got promoted to the Premier League, and we have Nick Pope in goal now, and it looks like Ben Almas is getting sold. Rob McDonald's also getting sold, our long-time club captain, and Conte is now the captain, remember him? We should probably be keeping you updated through the community post, you know. Spurs are looking to protect and double A's value by keeping him on a straight loan. Porto are interested in taking Spurs leaguer Brian Gill on loan for the rest of the season now that Luis Diaz has gone. It's not been given any chances. It looks like Tottenham have decided the league is not for him. Or, as some people call it, sours. Continuing on, hopefully AFCON doesn't claim us over the background noise of Senegal versus Equatorial Guinea. Currently 1-0 to Senegal as we speak. But the game will be over, so you'll already know. Will Lingard move on deadline day? Probably not. Manchester United are pricing him out of the move. They want a £12 million bonus if Newcastle avoid relegation, and there's no way Newcastle are going to agree on that. On top of a loan fee and his wages. So yeah, basically they don't want to sell him to Newcastle. They probably don't want to sell him to anyone. Well, loan him out, should I say, to anyone in that Premier League. So. Lampard's taking a risk at Everton, according to Carve Solicol. And he's chosen to wear the number 39 shirt, Bruno Guimares, at Newcastle, because that's the number taxi I think his dad drives. Everton are very close to taking Donny van de Beek on a straight loan from Man United, according to Darmesheth, and they'll pay his wages in full until that summer. Middlesbrough are in talks with Newcastle over Jeff Hendrick. They're in talks over a loan move. They need to allow a few players to leave to offset the arrivals of Bruno Guimares, Dan Burn, Kieran Trippier and Chris Wood to the squad. And Sunderland have sacked Lee Johnson as head coach, presumably after they lost 6-0, yes, 6-0 to Bolton. They felt that, they needed immediate change, and this is in the best interest of Sunderland as they strive to earn promotion this season. Can Barca afford Aubameyang's wages? Probably not. We'll call.
Victor Gomez seemed to hesitate, seemed to think about it, and then thought, you know what, those claims are right.
Penalty's been given. Don't know who to. Oh yeah, Carvalho is Will Carvalho join Liverpool before the deadline? Maybe. Could Frank Lampard go to Everton with his assistant manager Paul Clement from former Derby County manager Paul Clement. Yeah, he's expected to be Frank Lampard's assistant manager, and he's expected to be confirmed as Everton's new manager imminently. Ambitious went Ham on Calvin Phillips and Rafinha, however, that there's no chance that they'll sell. That's it for today's episode. See you next time, which will be transfer deadline day, the last of the season.